Week 2 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I look to buy this week. The first pitcher, Luis Castillo with the Seattle Mariners. It's been a tough start to the year for Castillo. On the year, 15 2/3, 0-3 record, 18 Ks, a 6.89 ERA, a 1.85 WHIP, and no quality starts on the season. So the control hasn't been there, location hasn't been there as well, and the velocity's down a little bit. And right now, teams have been teeing off on Castillo. So right now, well, he's been getting bombed the first 3 outings of the season is Castillo. He's a perfect buy low candidate. We know the talent. We know he's had Cy Young upside a lot over the last couple seasons is Castillo. And he's just off to the bad start right now when it's only 3 weeks into the season. And sometimes it takes some of these pitchers after spring training a few weeks to get going. So Castillo, the first few outings of the year for him, March 28th versus Boston, 5 innings, got the loss. 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. April 2nd versus Cleveland, 5 2/3, got the loss. 10 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 7 Ks. And April 8th at the Blue Jays, 5 innings, got the loss, 9 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 6 Ks. So right now, I'm not playing good baseball at all as Castillo. Like I said, the location hasn't been there, and he's been getting hit hard. And the only plus right now has been the strikeouts, where he has 18 strikeouts in the first 3 games here is Luis Castillo. So right now, well, he's not playing well, and we know he's got major upside and still one of the better pitchers in the league. He's a perfect buy low candidate because I believe Castillo will figure things out. He pitches in a good pitcher's ballpark over there in Seattle. And right now, it's just a bad start from the next pitcher is Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves. So Max Fried off to a slow start as well the first couple outings of the year for him. Only 5 innings under his belt. 0-0 record, 6 Ks, 18 ERA, and a 3.20 WHIP. So Max Fried, we know he's a free agent after the season. Came off of a major injury last season. They look good for this Atlanta Brave team. But right now, like I said, he's definitely struggling. But a pitcher who I believe will turn things around sooner than later. And he has one of the best offenses, if not the best offense, backing him over here in Atlanta, where the run support will be there for him. March 30th at Philly, 2/3 of an inning in that one. 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, a strikeout. Then April 6th versus Arizona, 4 1/3, 10 hits, 7 runs, a walk, 5 Ks. So 2 bad outings to start. His next outing is tomorrow versus the New York Mets. We know this Met team, they've been struggling so far in the early going here. So Fried's had a good track record versus the Mets in his career. And right now, after he's off to a slow start and not pitching good, it's a perfect time to buy him low, because if he goes out there tomorrow and pitches a gem versus the New York Mets, his value is going to go back up, and he wouldn't really be a buy low candidate. So Max Fried will major upside and a contract season as well, where he's a free agent next year, probably looking to command 150, 200 million. I think he turns things around sooner than later, and especially on a team like the Atlanta Braves that have World Series aspirations. He's definitely a buy low pitcher this week. The next pitcher, Brandon Pfaadt of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Pfaadt, one of the former top prospects in this Diamondback season over the last couple seasons. Last year, he had a little bit of time in the major leagues, 96 innings, 3-9 record, 94 Ks, 5.72 ERA, of 1.41 WHIP, and 3 quality starts. Obviously, it wasn't a good experience in a rookie season last year. And so far this year, 10 2/3, 1-0 record, 13 Ks, a 5.06 ERA, a 1.31 WHIP. So Pfaadt has major upside. I think the strikeout numbers are going to be solid for him this season. And this Arizona team has been a very slow start out of the gate for this Arizona Diamondback team. World Series hangover, and they've been struggling so far in the early going of the season. So Pfaadt, like I said, he has upside, one of the top prospects in baseball the last couple seasons. And right now, he just has to get things going. March 31st versus the Rockies, 5 innings, got the win. 5 hits, a run, 6 Ks. And April 6th at Atlanta, 5 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 7 Ks. So the strikeouts, like I said, are looking good so far in the early going, 13 strikeouts. Outing versus the Rocky type of outing for Brandon Pfaadt, but I think he could bounce back. His next outing is April 12th versus the Cardinals. I know this Cardinal team, they're middle of the pack type of offense, but like I said, Brandon Pfaadt is upside. Strikeouts will be there. Just length in location and getting easier outs, I think, is the problem for Pfaadt, but he's still a young pitcher with upside, and I don't think fantasy owners have to break the bank, obviously, to get him on their roster, so he's a buy low this week. The next pitcher, Hunter Brown, the Houston Astros. So Hunter Brown, last season wasn't a good year for him at all. In his first year as a full year, 155 2/3, 11 13 record, 178 Ks, 5.09 ERA, 1.36 WHIP with 11 quality starts. And so far this year, 7 innings only, 0-1 record, 8 Ks, a 6.43 ERA, a 2.57 WHIP. So he's on a good team over here in the Houston Astros. I know the Astros, they got off to a slow start, and we know as well they got a lot of injuries in this rotation. Obviously, Justin Verlander, he's still out. Luis Garcia, he's been out as well. And now Framber Valdez, he's hurt with the elbow. And we got to learn more what's going to happen with him. So I think no matter what, with these injuries and stuff, Hunter Brown's going to have a spot in this rotation unless he really goes backwards and struggles. So Hunter Brown, he has upside. A couple seasons ago, a highly touted prospect and a top pick in the MLB draft. And his next outings here tonight at the Royals, where we know their offense isn't all that great. March 30th versus the Yankees, 4 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. And April 5th at Texas, 3 innings, got the loss. 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 3 Ks. So 2 tough matchups versus top hitting teams in the Yankees and the Texas Rangers. It was for Hunter Brown, but I think he could bounce back. And right now would be the time to go out there and get him, because if he goes out there at the Kansas City Royals here today and has a good ball game, he's not going to be someone that you could get on a little bit of a discount. After the first 2 outings, like I said, he struggled, so Hunter Brown still has upside. I know last season it wasn't a good year for him, and he's got one of the better offenses in the league as well backing him. So right now I would buy Brown this week, and the 5th and final pitcher I look to buy and trade for is Tanner Bybee of the Cleveland Guardians. So Tanner Bybee, last season he came up and he had a good year, 142 innings, 10-4 record, 141 Ks, 2.98 ERA, 1.18 whip, and 11 quality starts. So Bybee, a lot of people, they weren't that people going into drafts, weren't that big into Bybee, I thought here. He was going 10th, 11th round in most fantasy leagues. On the year, 9 1/3, 1-0 record, 13 Ks, 3.86 ERA, 1.71 whip for Tanner Bybee. So Bybee, like I said, has major upside. Shane Bieber out for the season, and he might be the next ace now for this Cleveland Guardian team is Bybee. He was a former top prospect as well over the last few seasons. So March 30th at Oakland, 4 innings in that one, 6 hits, 3 runs, 5 walks, 4 Ks. And then April 4th, he did have a nice bounce-back game at the Minnesota Twins, but only 5 1/3 lasted, got the win. 5 hits, a run, 9 Ks. So Bybee's a good strikeout pitcher. He's got good stuff, no doubt about it. I'm still saying the price is going to be decent to get him on your roster, but so far the first 2 outings, it's been one good one mediocre outing, and 1 bad outing. And here today, he's got a good matchup, though, versus the Chicago White Sox. But like I said, Tanner Bybee, he's a pitcher that, after a good rookie season last year, I think could even take more of a step and be one of the top 10, 15 pitchers in fantasy baseball. So that's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for week 2 of the fantasy baseball season.